Hey everybody, this is Scoots, and you're listening to Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me, which is just stories from the Sleep With Me podcast. So if you like the stories from Sleep With Me, you've even checked out our original podcast, a full length. It's called Sleep With Me. And if you enjoy these stories, you could support the production of the show and get tons of stories-only versions of Sleep With Me on Sleep With Me Plus. If this show is worth, if you listen to it on a regular basis, you say, this show's worth $60 a year to me. This show's worth $120 a year to me. Sign up. You can sign up monthly or annually. You get a podcast with story-only versions of Sleep With Me, like this, but ad-free. You get full versions of Sleep With Me, bonus versions of Sleep With Me. And you help us keep making the show well into, hopefully, like the long future. So, but if you're new, check this out. This is called Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me. And it'll be Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me podcast. Thanks and good night. Hey, everybody, if you're listening to this, I just wanted to thank you for signing up for an ad-free version of Sleep With Me and Apple Podcasts, whether you sign up for the free trial or the annual subscription or you're getting it month to month. Thank you so much for the support. I hope you're enjoying these ad-free shows. They come out twice a week. It helps keep the podcast going. You could save money by signing up for an annual subscription, and you could do all that right in your Apple Podcast settings. So thanks for being a subscriber here on Apple Podcasts. And again, you just handle all that right through your Apple Podcasts subscriptions, your settings right in your Apple profile, all in your Apple ID info. You can handle that where you handle all of your other Apple subscriptions. So thanks so much for signing up here on Apple Podcasts. Thanks. Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, trees and multiforms. Whether you call it whether you say Gallifrey or Gallifrey, whether you travel in a TARDIS or when you travel, you show up tardy. This is a podcast where the jokes are tardy. They're beyond tardy because they only arrive half. What's the word for if you show up tardy and you're only halfway there? Well, I'm barely halfway anywhere. And if you're thinking that, you're in the right place because it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. Thanks for supporting it, patrons. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots. If you're looking for the most comfortable way to listen to Sleep With Me podcast or bedtime stories from Sleep With Me, you can get yourself a pair of sleep phones, like Sleep With Me merchandise sleep phones with different logos and cool stuff on there. And you could get that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleepphones and use Sleep With Me at checkout to save $5 off your order. Thanks, everybody. Everybody, Scoots here, starting up The Sound of Drums, Season 3, Episode 12. When we last left off, we were on a cliffhanger, the Utopia launching, the TARDIS gone, bye-bye, big music. That was the cliffhanger. Doctor's face. And sleep With Me. That's the podcast I make. But this episode, The Sound of Drums, opens with some sort of portal. Coming through the portal is void, I put. Word void, weird void. Walls, pause, there's stuff on the walls. There's sound effects. There's signs on the walls that say vote Saxon, Saxon. But the doctor, Jack, and Martha come through. Let's see. Action. Then we get Earth sound effects, Earth 21st century action flashback. He's here. Signs, drums on a tin cup. I'll launch in Saxon or something. Mr. Saxon, Martha. Knows him. Harold Saxon, Prime Minister. Kiss. Healing medicine needs a doctor. Smile open. So we find out that the doctor, the boss from the last episode, travel without a time capsule. It's rough. They're walking, hands in their pockets, looking around. Luck. No, the doctor says, I fixed your device. It wasn't luck that your device worked. I used my screwdriver. because they had to get away from the LARPers that wanted to play. And the three of them portaled out. They portaled time agent vortex manipulator. But we don't have the TARDIS. It could be anywhere. The doctor's like, no, he's here. Who is he? Wasn't the professor, a Time Lord, regenerated, changed. Voice, body, knew everything. Doctor sees somebody tapping a cup. How are we going to find him? Doctor wonders, I'll know him the moment I see him. Time Lords always do. Could be anyone, though. But there's a lot of science. Saxon is your man. We missed the election. And we see the news on big screen. Everybody's celebrating. New Prime Minister, Harold Saxon. Martha knows his voice. Heard it hundreds of times. We all have. Charismatic leader with the comedy charm, possibly. Harold Saxon. The boss is a Prime Minister of Great Britain. He kisses his wife. Doctor's even more surprised about that. And Harold Saxon says, this country needs medicine, needs a doctor. I'd go so far as to say. And that's when it opens with his big smile. Sound of drums, Russell Davies. He goes into the Prime Minister's office. He's getting all these red reports, policy stuff, updates. His wife says, I'm proud of you, Harry. He kisses her again. We see Tiff, said Tish, Martha's sister, Letitia Jones, Tish, and he says, okay, don't worry. I'll have some work for you. You look great. Keep up the good work. Everybody laughs. She says, that's not nice. I don't appreciate your tone. Then the Harold Saxon goes in. A lot of red walls, red folders. He throws the folders in the air. This is like his cabinet or whatever. They say, my word. He says, I'm funny. They say, we don't appreciate this attitude. We're here to do cabinet stuff, and we got to get down to policy, business. He goes, no. I have something I want to say. I'm Prime Minister. He takes a breath. He says, thank you, all of you. And he says, he tells you, you're two-faced. You would, you just, the only reason, because you don't really believe in anything. And they say, what do you mean? He goes, I'm going to make myself clear that, and he makes a funny face. Oh, he says, funny as this, not funny as this. He makes frowny faces and smiley faces. And, you're traitors. No, yeah, whatever. As soon as you saw the vote coming my way, you got on my bandwagon. Saxon bandwagon, eh? This is your reward. And then he creates, He has them all go, he says, I'm going to sing you a lullaby. They say, really? And then he sings them a lullaby. They all fall asleep. A sleep deeper than Sleeping Beauty. And he kicks back. He says, okay, get ready. And so then they all go sleepy sleep. And they take a resty poo. And they say, I can't believe you're putting all the cabinet to sleep. You're going to need us. He goes, nope, I'm not going to need you. And everybody rests. He does his own tapping. He's tapping the same thing. Let me look at my notes. Then we go to Martha's apartment. So PM, red folders, Harry's so proud, Tish, WTF, big meeting, funny. Fireplace made of marble, thank you. Sniveling, not funny. Finger to lips, funny like, not funny like this. Here's your reward. Had a Stark-type symbol on something. Trick or treat, smell my feet, they say. 2 thumbs up, drums on the desk, 2 fingers. Then Martha's apartment, your whole 2 office with Tish, Mom. Vixen Roach, Lucy, 20 minutes. Tish, sit in, out you go. She tells Mrs. Saxon the truth, a lie, everything a lie. Celebrities for Saxon, Dr. Stumped, all inverted. Learn now, leave now. After Harriet Jones, Archangel Network, not essential, bright, but harmless. I think it was time I was wanted. He was so good, Zoom. For better or for worse. Hello, Mr. Saxon. Oh, hello, your new mite. I'm the boss. These are my friends. Then he brings out these birdcage balls, which are actually other beings. I'm sorry, can't let you hear the drum beat. Can't you hear the drum beat? Closer and closer. Oh dear, the balls talk. They run out of the door. But of comfort, the balls, they take, Harold Saxon's wife leave the office, and they say 98 and 99%. How much time, Hug? Tomorrow morning, everything's good to go. Okay, so Jack's calling somebody, can't get a hold of them. Saxon websites have been around for ages. And Martha's like, this is so weird. This was like only 4 days after I met you right now. He's been flying around the universe the whole time. He's a time lord. What about the rest of it? Show me Harold Saxon. Martha checks her voicemail. Tish calls. I got a new job. They phone me up out of the blue. Then Tish is in the office with a reporter or somebody doing a think piece. Yeah, so she's a reporter. She wants to interview with Mrs. Saxon. I'm here to interview Mrs. Saxon. You can't barge in, but she does. Sunday Mirror, Vivian Rook. And Mrs. Saxon says, I'm tired. She says, can I call you Lucy? Everyone's talking about Harold Saxon. What about you? Just 20 minutes, please. She says, well, maybe, she goes, the power behind the throne. Britain's first lady, front page. She says, okay. I suppose, go on then. Tish is like, and she goes, oh, Tish, why don't you put my coat away? Leave us alone. The reporter says. Tish says, I'm supposed to be here, but, Mrs. Saxon says, don't worry about it. I'll be fine. So Tish gets escorted out of the office. And the reporter says, listen, Miss Saxon, I have reason to believe your husband is not a human being. That he's tricking the whole world. And he's not who he says he is. And she goes, are you aware of this? That it's all a tricky poo? Then we see an ad with Sharon Osbourne saying she's going to vote for Saxon, some boy band, somebody else, I don't know, famous people saying they love Saxon. And he's a fine, handsome man. And he was the one who helped Christmas Eve save the day. And he goes back years. Everyone knows his story. Cambridge, rugby, wrote a novel, went into business, marriage, everything. He's got a whole history. Doctor doesn't buy it. This doesn't make any sense. Then we go back to the reporter and the first lady. He didn't even go to Cambridge. This is all, there is no Harold Saxon. It's obvious, but no one can see it. We're oblivious to the obviousness of it. It's mesmerized the whole world. 18 months ago, that's when he appeared. This is his first actual appearance, even though he has a fake history. After Harriet Jones and Archangel Network appeared, that's when Harold Saxon, she goes, no, this is, she goes, where's the cabinet, by the way? Somebody said they're asleep or trick or treat smell my feet. She goes, how should I know? Good family, especially bright, essentially harmless. Lucy, I'm begging you. Come on. If you've seen or heard anything, even the slightest thing that would give you cause to doubt him. She goes, okay, I think there was a time when I first met him, I wondered. I wondered why. He was so good to my father. And she goes, go ahead, tell me, sweetheart. And she pauses, pretty long pause. She goes, I made my choice. And she goes, sorry, for better or for worse. He's my husband, right, Harry? And then Harry comes in. He's already in the room. Faithful companion. The reporter goes, oh, boy, gulp. I was just having a gulp or talking to your wifey poo, poor little Lucy. And he goes, okay, well, he goes, Harold Saxon doesn't exist, eh? You really know a lot, huh? She goes, well, who are you? He goes, I'm the boss, and I want you to meet my birdcage friends that appear out of a vortex as well. 4 of them. And they are also trick-or-treaters, so they say, we're going to take you on trick-or-treating, Mrs. Rook, to smell feet. The drums are getting closer and closer. And that's when they leave. Mrs. Rook goes with the birdcage balls, the old birdcage balls. And Harold and his wife, there's a little bit of comedy, which I liked. Yeah, they say it's almost done. But she knew. The wife says, if she knows, you promised no one would know. You said Archangel was 100%. He goes, well, more like 99, 98%. But his wife's like, how much time do we have? He gives her a big, goofy hug. And he goes, tomorrow morning, that's all we got to make it to, dear. We just got to get till tomorrow morning. That's when everything is going to be changed. Go back to the kitchen. Jack's making tea. Master went back in time for the boss. Stole the TARDIS, but the doctor says, well, I fused the coordinates, so he can only go to this time in that time. 100 trillion in the last place the TARDIS landed, which is right here, right now. Jack goes, well, he must have had a little leeway. And the doctor goes, maybe 18 months. So how's he managed all this? So in 18 months, he's got a hypnotic thing, but this is massive. Martha says, I was going to vote for him before I even met you. I liked him. Jack says, I do too. And the doctor goes, what? He's got, I don't know what he stood for, but he sounded good. Martha starts drumming. Sounded like you could trust him. He's nice. He spoke about stuff I connected to. Can't really remember what it was, but I liked it. And he goes, doctor says, what's this tapping and stuff? She goes, nothing. She goes, I don't know. And the doctor goes, well, I know. It's weird. Then there's another Saxon broadcast. He's got his own network. He says he's doing it. Britain, we got extraordinary times. The world was small. But I got big news. Out of the unknown from the skies. We've seen other beings visiting the earth in the past 18 months. Metal people, Christmas star, and your government really didn't do anything or tell you the truth, because that's not how Harold Saxon works. They tell the truth. So, citizens of Great Britain, here's the truth. I've been contacted by birdcage balls from another world and beyond the stars that talk like babies, that say, we bring peace and gifts, technology, wisdom, protection. We're birdcage balls. We just want to be friends, friends with everybody. Saxon goes, oh, so sweet. And these are called the toclophane. They go, the toblerone? No toclophane. Toblerone? No tocloframe. Don't worry, diplomatic relations with a new species about to begin. Tomorrow we take our place in the universe, Saxon says. Every man, woman, and child will be there. Every teacher and chemist, lorry driver, farmer, I don't know. Even a medical student, maybe. like Martha Jones. The doctor realizes that Harold Saxon knew they'd be at her apartment, so he makes her apartment go bye-bye, even her laundry. Which you say, oh boy, that's another challenge. There's a trick on the back of the TV. Doctor says, everybody okay? Martha says, what about my family? She calls her mom's phone. It's tapped from like the earlier episodes. Mom and dad are together. She says, Mom, come on, nothing's going on. And Mom says, no, come on over. And she says, your father's here. We're back together. We want to hang out with you. She gives it over to him. She says, yeah, totally, Martha, come on over. And she goes, Dad, come on. And then he goes, get out of town. Just run. I don't care. Then we talk about voting Saxon. Martha drives fast. Something in red. James plans, sells. Tish busted. Get out, run. Something, ditch the car. Her brother's in Brighton on vacation, so that's good. Saxon on the line. I'll find you, Martha Jones. Let's go. Doctor on the line. I'm here. Get word. You find out that they choose their names. We'll talk about that in a second. Perfect woman, perfect warrior for a time war. So we start to get a history of Saxon. I ran so far, he says, away. Make human. I was so scared. I know. I tried everything. How did that decide? Like a god. Almost every size. All we have is each other. Too late. The drumming. Can't you hear it? Now stops. So let me help. It never stops. So doctor says, let me help. Here come the drums. Tell me on telly. Off you go. So let's see. Yeah, Martha's parents are getting escorted with the prime minister even. Martha shows up. They say, okay, let's bus them. They say, Martha, get out of here. So she does a reverse, a little action, tries to drive away, successfully does. They got like agents. I don't see Saxon there, so maybe he wasn't there. And you say, Martha, Jack says, we got to get out of the car because they're going to be tracking it. So he's talking sense. So they pull over and get ready to go for a walk. Martha, come on. She calls Leo, her brother. Leo, you got to listen. Where are you? He's out on the Brighton pier, walking the baby. Mom, Dad, Tish, you got to hide. Trust me. Go to Boxer, stay with him. A little nice game of hide and seek. I love that. I'll find you, Martha Jones. Been a long time since we saw each other. Must be, 100 trillion years? So he's tapped on Martha's phone. Martha yells at Saxon. Doctor hops on. I'm here. He looks up. Guy's got brown amber eyes. The boss man. StarTech. No, it's not StarTech phone. I don't know what kind of phone it is. Doctor, boss, Saxon. So good to talk to you. I love it when you use my name. And the doctor says, you chose it. He goes, yeah, and you chose yours. The doctor, the man who helps people better. Very sanctimonious. So prime minister then, he goes, yeah, don't you love it? Isn't it rad? What are those things? They're not toblerone, toclafane. And the doctor goes, that's a made-up name. That was a myth from when we were kids. He goes, you remember all that back home? Where is it, doctor? Gone. Where's Gallifrey? Gone. Not possible. Well, it is. It's gone bye-bye. What about the rest of the Time Lords, Saxon says. The doctor says, gone too, just me and you. And most of the Daleks, what's up with you? He goes, well, I was a perfect warrior for a time war, so they woke me up, just like a thumb war. And he goes, I was there with the Daleks, I saw it, and then I ran away. I ran so far away. I don't know the rest of the lyrics, but I ran. made myself human so they would never find me. And, yeah, I was a bit worried. Doctor goes, yeah, I know. All of them, but not you. I go, yeah, well, I was the only one that could end it. And I tried everything. And Saxon says, well, what did it really feel like when, like, watching everything go bye-bye? He goes, you must have felt like the doctors, obviously. He goes, yeah, I've been alone ever since then. So, because we only got each other. As long as we have each other, we got it spinning right in our hands. Because we could leave this planet together. Because just we could fight each other, but not on Earth. And Saxon says, too late. And he goes, why do you say that? He goes, the drumming, man. That drumming, it won't stop. Can't you hear it? Thought it would stop, but it never does. Never stops. It's in my head even. The drumming, doctor, the constant drumming. And doctor says, I can help you, man. He goes, it's everywhere. Listen to it. Tap, tap, tapping on the cellar door. Here come the drums. Tap, tap, rap, rap, rapping. And we see other people tapping, like they're going to track the doctor. The doctor says, what have you done? What are you doing, all these people, making them tap, tap, tap? And then Saxon says, I got access to all the closed circuit TV channels. I can see you and your little band, too. Reported you on the news, by the way. So you're not loved anymore. You're on the news. 1, 2, and 3. And tell Handsome Jack that already sent his team to the Himalayas, so they won't be helping you either. And so why don't you look at this camera on the right where I'm watching you. Wave hi, hi. Doctor shorts that one out. And that's when Saxon says, start running. Go on and run, and I'll catch you. Play hide and seek. So the doctor looks, he smiles. The doctor shorts out the camera. And he says, run, 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 run. I don't know is that where you run, run, run until your daddy takes your T-Bird away? I don't know. Cars, it says on the window. They got nowhere to go. What should we do? He's saying, run, doctor. And actually, for once, the doctor looks unsure. Crossgate cabs. They're running through a furniture center. He's still saying, run. There's people doing the beat of the drums. Now we got a news segment welcoming extraterrestrials. Some people aren't happy, including the United States president. We see a Teletubby, and that's what Saxon's watching, Teletubbies. The Toclafane come in, or the birdcage people, or just one. He smiles. He said, what's up, birdcage? Have you seen these Teletubbies? I love this planet. They got Teletubbies have TVs in their tummy. Now that's evolution. Is the machine ready? Tomorrow morning, that's when the birdcage, 8:02 precisely. He's drinking something. And they're worried about the cold. The bird cages do not like to be cold or in the dark totally. We have to run, 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 run too. And he says, just be here at 8 o'clock tomorrow. This world is waiting for you. So then it portals out. It's raining. Saxon looks out the blinds. And we see Martha on a rain-dried factory floor carrying some groceries. And she said, I think I got it through. They got some Wi-Fi. So they're reading about Harriet Jones or somebody. No mention of Leo. Leo's hiding probably. Martha says, how did this happen? Doctor likes the potato chips that Martha got. Says those are great. Jack and her share a look because they know the doctor's stressed. They say, how could the Time Lords pick such a guy that's not so nice? He says, we were colleagues. Maybe you could say friends. See, like your secret brother, Martha. He says, Martha, you've been watching too much TV. And Jack says, I thought Gallifrey was perfect and beautiful. And Doctor says, oh, yeah, it was beautiful. Shining world of 7 systems. He just kicks back, a continent of wild endeavor, dreamy look in his eyes, mountains of solace and solitude. There stood the citadel of the Time Lords. We see snowy mountains, domed city, oldest and most mighty race in the universe, looking down at the galaxies below, never to interfere. We see wise Gallifreyan, children of Gallifrey, they had to join up, though, at age 8 to go to the academy, like in a lot of those books. That's where trouble began. He was a kid, and, that's when the boss saw eternity. He looked into some sort of initiation, the untempered schism he had to look in. It's a gap in the fabric of reality. No kid should look in there. It's a vortex. You stand there, 8 years old, you don't have the capacity. Even a Gallifreyan doesn't have the capacity. Raw power of time and space. What, are you kidding me? And some might be inspired, but most, some would run away. He just stood there with a look in his eye. He has a bowl cut, a bit like a bowl cut, and then he gets a look in his eye. We go back to the discussion. The doctor says, I don't know. Martha says, what about you, Doc? He goes, ran away, never stopped. Then Jack gets a signal on his watch, encrypted channel. I got some files, don't recognize it. Send it to the laptop. What's up? Torchwood files. Their doctor says, you work for Torchwood? He goes, it's a different Torchwood, man. Nothing to do with the old one. That was the old regime. And doctor glares at Jack about it. He's really glaring. Holy moly. Arms crossed. Then we get a report. If I haven't returned to my desk by 2200, this file will go to Torchwood. If you're watching this, it means I'm in the big farm. Saxon files are attached. All the secrets. Take a look at the Archangel document. That's where it started. Saxon, Archangel, get ready. And everyone's got Archangel. That's what makes the phones work. That's how we get on social media, Martha says. All the other networks. So the doctor says, he is a hypnotist. It's in the phones. Wait, hold on. This was what, 2008 they made this? Very predictive. There's the rhythm right in the subconscious through the phone. Mind control? No, subtler than that, eh? Strong-willed people would question it, but it's the rhythm, layers of code. Vote Saxon, believe in me. Whispered to the world. That's how he hit it. Doctor's like, I should have known. But signal must have canceled him out. Can we stop it? Nah, from here. But now that we know how he's doing it, we can get him back. So then we go into a building sequence, circuit boards, chips, phones, keys, sonic screwdriving, doctor rubbing his hands together, looking at stuff under magnifying, soldering, penciling, and 3 TARDIS keys, tools of the trade, low-level perception. TARDIS is supposed to blend in. Now we will sort of weld the key to the network. And Martha, you could see me, but if I put this on, you could just kind of see me. Yeah, you're not paying any attention to me. She doesn't, she looks away. She can't look directly at him. It's like you're there and I don't want to know. And now I'm back again. So it shifts your perception. That's what that does. Not invisible, but unnoticed. It's like when you fancy someone and they don't even know you exist. That's what it's like. And Martha and Jack share a look. And he says, you too, huh? So Jack has a crush on the doctor. So, and then the doctor says, don't run. At this point, we just play it cool. Don't draw attention to yourself, and we'll be fine. Then there's a new news segment, because we're getting ready. What happens is the president of the United States comes to meet with the prime minister, Saxon, and whoever the president is. I don't know, Air Force One. Is that what that says? But they're walking across London right now. Saxon, of course, acts goofy and silly when he's meeting with the president. Yeah, everybody's like, okay, Air Force One's on British soil, getting ready for this contact. I don't know why you'd send, no offense, but what do you think in sending the president there? Like, what if they gravitate, like you send the vice president or somebody else? Also, this guy, at some point, he's the president-elect and not the president. Now he says units got control of this, the president. And they go, the first contact policy, Security Council 1968, you've ignored it, Saxon. Saxon says, I don't like paperwork. He goes, I really like goofing around. I found a bus ticket. How about my wife? Have you met her yet? And the president says, well, I don't know what you're up to, but we can remove you from office if we need to. Buddy boy, understood. And Saxon acts goofy again. Are you taking this seriously? He's not. They go, we got the files on Tocklefane. We see the Dr. Jack and Martha watching. They go, the president says, we got this Valiant aircraft carrier, so we'll meet on there. That's where we're going to do it. Don't try my patience. He says, oh, so America's in charge? Yeah, I'll see you on the Valiant. It'll be on TV, though, because I promised, right? And he goes, the whole world's going to be watching. And the president says, well, I guess so. If it's too late to pull out, I'm just a grouch anyway, so we'll make it work. And then we get some foreshadowing about the president. And they say, okay, we should reach the Valiant. Let's get to the Valiant stats. They pull out. He almost sees the doctor and them standing there, but it works. Their disguise is the key that makes you unnoticeable. I say, oh boy, I had that key. This key I always got. And they head out. He still pauses one more time, but he does not see them. And then we see Martha's family. And he goes, I got big plans for all of you. And Martha, the doctor's like, don't move, Martha. And they all have a little rain drench on them, which is like, I say, oh boy, Martha in the rain. I could write a song about that. So then they say, okay, he's a Time Lord. He's my responsibility, the doctor says, because everybody's mad. He goes, I'm not here. I'm here to save him. That's what I'm supposed to do. Saxon's clapping, goofing around. Then they're getting ready to go aboard the ship via Jack's transporter wrist thing. Can it teleport us? Now it can. The doctor said I adjusted. Everybody hold hands. And they're off. They get on the ship. That thing's rough. I've had worse nights. And welcome to the Valiant. It's dawn. And the Valiant's like on Marvel. It's a ship in the sky, helicarrier, 21st century, protecting the skies of planet Earth. It's a different shape, but it's same. Yeah, I guess it is a different shape. Maybe. It's pretty big. They say, okay, we're over Europe. We're getting all the, waiting confirmation from everybody. They got a little office there. Everybody, the Americans have blue ties on. Anything I can do? No. How about some tea? I can make grits for you Americans. The guy goes, just sit down, and the president says that. And he's got a nickname for him, Misery Guts. He pulls out a chair for his wife. He is charming. I mean, in a, not nice way. He goes, when I was Minister of Defense, I was designed this whole helicarrier, so every detail. So I guess it's not American. I guess it's, I don't know. I'm not following it. So run around the ship. The doctor hears something. Can't you hear it? And Martha's like, I got to find my family. The doctor goes, this way. Follow me. I don't know if he hears the drums or what he hears, but they're running down, they're in the back of the ship or the insides of the ship. Steam and stuff. Oh, it's the TARDIS on the Valiant. As they open the door and the TARDIS is red. What has he done? Don't touch anything. Sounds like the TARDIS is sick. Doctor says it can't be. No. He turned the TARDIS into something else. Is this what I think it is, Jack says? A paradox machine, the doctor says. We got 2 minutes till airtime. According to the treaty, everybody off the flight deck, only peaceful stuff up here only. What's his name's got jelly beans. So he gives his wife a jelly bean. Good luck to all of us, the president says. And the doctor's trying to figure out this thing's going to turn on. The paradox machine's about to turn on. 802. What does the paradox machine do? Can you stop it? No. So we mess with it now, it could go wrong. So we got to get back to the boss. How are we going to stop him? I got away. Did I not mention it? Don't worry. Doctor smiles. Then we're down to 30 seconds. All the news is there. We get a segment of regular people watching this report. 3 a.m. Eastern time. President says, Americans, patriots, world, I'm an ambassador for humanity. People are like hanging out, drinking even. Undertake the utmost solemnity or something. Looking forward to meeting these toblerones. We can learn to see ourselves anew. For as long as we've looked to the stars, we've wondered what mysteries they hold. Dr. Jack and them sneak in. Now we know we're not alone. And the doctor says, I just got to get a key around the boss's neck to cancel out his perception. And he's, the Saxon's kind of, Martha's like, I'll get it done. And he says, okay, everybody, let's get ready. Welcome. There's a Buffalo Bills fan representing America. I give you the Toblerone. President says 4 of them come in. They dance around. Saxon is very amused. People are watching on the news. Arthur Coleman Winters, president-elect of the United States and representative of the United Nations. Welcome to Earth and its associated moon. And the spheres say, you're not our boss. We like our boss better. We don't like you. And they circle around him. He's very stiff. He goes, I will accept mastery over you if that's God's will. And they go, oh boy, you are a joke, man. And they say, where's our boss? And then Saxon says, I'm right here, everybody. Don't worry. Ta-da. He does a little dance. And he goes, he goes, I don't know if it's my smile, my aftershave, my ability to laugh at myself, but don't worry. And they go back and forth. So he goes, I'm taking over. The president says, no, you're not. And then they say, yeah, you are. They evaporate him. The bird cages, they have an evaporative thing. And everybody's watching the news live. So they say, did the president just evaporate? No, president-elect, actually. Then Saxon says, listen up, earthlings. Doctor gets busted. He loses his key. He goes, oh, we meet at last, doctor. Love saying that. The doctor says, come on, stop. Perception filter. He goes, don't worry. And it goes, oh, there's your sidekicks. And the Jack makes a move. He shuts Jack down. Laser screwdriver. I don't need a sonic one. He goes, this one's more fun. And the doctor says, calm down, man. Look at what you're doing. If you could see yourself. And this is all on the news. He goes, I got personal business here. goes, it's the drumming, the doctor says to him. And Saxon says, I'm going to shut you up with memory lane. He goes, remember Professor Lazarus? He goes, I was there then too. He goes, how do you think, he goes, don't you think it was weird that Trish worked there as well? This wasn't a coincidence. He goes, I'm going to concentrate that technology into the screwdriver in reverse. He goes, and I have your code. I just needed your code, which I got through your extra stuff, your backup gloves. He goes, yeah, give yourself a hand. And he goes, yeah, so I'm going to reverse this. How about 100 years older? And he aims it at the doctor. Doctor does a dance, and he goes, Billy, what is that? I don't know what that, I didn't see that movie, but he becomes a much older gentleman very quickly, but not in an enjoyable way for him. So doctor ends up old, a lot of makeup. Martha runs to him. She says, I got you. And what's his name? Saxon's still making a lot of comments and jokes. He goes, ta-da, here's your family. He's very over the top. So her family comes in. Is it Ty? What are they? Martha's family. It's like a game show. Oh, yeah. And they go, who are the Taclefane or the Toblerone? Are they cage-based beings? Who are they? And he goes, doctor, if I told you the truth, you wouldn't believe it anyway. You would not believe it. And then the spheres say, is the machine ready? Is it singing? And the boss says, yeah, it is. And then he goes, okay, Earthlings. He's very irritable now, Saxon. He goes, basically, this is not good news for Earth. Here come the drums. And then there's a really weird sequence of drums playing some song, maybe Voodoo Child. And he's rocking out Saxon. And then there's like a split in the sky. Like a rip in the time-space continuum, I guess you'd say. And then all these birdcage balls, the Toblerone, Taclophone ones come in. His wife and him are dancing. So it's kind of it's very campy. The original, the Tim Burton Batman almost, or the second one, maybe the first one. 6 billion birdcage balls coming in. And they're coming to Earth to visit, and they're bringing with them stuff that's nothing good. And it seems like they're each assigned to one person or something. I can't remember. Because people are like, is that birdcage balls coming, shooting? And they're shooting lasers. And people say, I hate laser beams. Never did done asking. And they use the word decimate, in a way like it's romance. And then they do a little bit of, what was that dude in Infinity? Martha has a tear in her eye. She walks away from the doctor. She's going to make a move on the, she has to go somewhere, do something. The doctor told her a secret. So Martha has to make a move. Everybody's like stunned. She slowly backs away. And she has to leave. She closes her eyes. She zoinks out. What's that guy's name from the Infinity? The guy from those two movies. Same kind of concept that he was up to. Played by Josh Brolin. But, and we see Martha in a grassy field. She actually does like a barrel roll. And she looks around. And she sees a lot of chaos, and at least she doesn't get caught up in it. Maybe because she still has her necklace on. So no one, she goes, I'll be back. She's driven now, and so it came to pass. Saxon says that was it for Earth. Once, and his wife's on one side of the doctor, and he's on the other side. My new dominion is boss. No more comic books or anything. And I thought it good. And the doctor's grimacing and breathing heavy, very heavy. grinding his teeth almost. And there's another cliffhanger, believe it or not. So triple cliffhanger. But we'll be back with more soon. So, yeah, good night. I want to thank everybody that became a patron recently. Naru, Neela, and Alex, thank you. Thanks, and good night. David, Christina, and M, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Forrest, Tara, and Maggie, thanks, and good night. Riley, Diane, and CG, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Tara, Laura, and Patricia, thanks, and good night. Madeline, Anna, and Stephanie, thanks, and good night. Reagan, Amanda, and Anna, thanks, and good night. Jerub and Tamara, thanks, and good night. Sean, Michael, and P, thanks, and good night. Pierre, Allison, and CP, thank you, thanks, and good night. Julie, Herman, and Andrew, thank you, thanks, and good night. Cheryl, Sarah, and Nadia, thanks, and good night. And Gretchen, Heidi, and Hannah, thank you, thanks, and good night. Thank you, everybody who supports the show on Patreon, supports our sponsors. That's how we're able to be here twice a week for free. Great ways to help the show out. Join our newsletter, sleepwithmepodcast.com/midnight mission, and help us help other people or spread the word about podcasting in general. Appreciate it. And yeah, that's it. Thanks, and good night. And here's a Tuck You In sponsor that's enabled us to expand all this stuff in our archive. Thanks, everybody.